Alright guys, real quick, did everybody, by a show of thumbs, everybody get the safety briefing while you're inside? Everybody's good on that? Any questions at all? Everybody's good?
Stacy, you have to
Yeah, you guys just share that microphone. Then Mandy, birthday girl, you got the red handle next to your right ankle, so just make sure not to accidentally pull that or bump that. If I need it pulled, that's where it's at, and if I put you to work on your birthday especially and on your vacation, I got to put you in for a raise for sure, so we won't even go there during that. So. And then guys, as we take off, I will have to turn the microphones off for the first, for takeoff and then for landing. However, during the flight, I'll be able to turn those back on. We'll be able to talk. So if you have anything to say, feel free to say. Maybe a time that I ask you to hang on just a second, or, you know, a lot of other voices in my head, so a lot of other aircraft out there, and also air traffic control, so I do have to talk to those guys. So if I ask you to hang on just a second, don't take that personal. Just let me deal with those guys. Just kind of pause for a minute, and I'll get right back to you. And everybody has an air conditioner vent above your head there, so feel free to use that. And give me just a second, guys. Everybody good to go? Alright, so I'll turn the microphones off, and then I'll give you a heads up before we lift. Alright guys, everybody good to go? Let's go fly. Alright everyone, aloha and welcome aboard. Glad to have everybody here. Everybody doing good?
Yeah.
My name's Brian, easy to remember, Flying Brian. So he makes a good rhyme, so. Guys, before we go past that, I want to point out a couple of things real quick. Does everybody like macadamia nuts? Yeah? You don't? I don't either. I'll eat them if somebody gives them to me, but I'm never going to buy them. But this is one of Mauna Loa's macadamia nut farms right here in front of us, guys. You may see a couple of those throughout the flight. The smaller trees are macnut trees, and then the larger trees are Norfolk Island pines. They both originate out of Australia, but they do really well here in Hawaii. We're able to produce about a quarter of the world's macadamia nuts. The one downside to having them here in Hawaii is we get a lot of wind, and so we have to plant the Norfolk Island pines. The macnut trees have really shallow roots, so they blow over quite easily here. They can live to be about 100 years old, so we plant the Norfolk Island pines around the edges just to keep them upright. Also keep the nut on the tree, you know, that way when it's ripe here, Once it's ripe, it'll drop to the ground. We still pick those up by hand. Is that I understand in Australia, I think they have a machine that shakes it, and they walk around with a shop vac. Seems like a more efficient way to me to do that. So I think I need to open up a shop vac business here on the Big Island on the side. And this side of the island, everybody coming from Kona, we're definitely, you see how everything's lush and green here. So we're definitely known for the agricultural side. A lot of bananas and papayas over here on the left. Guys off to my left here. This is my little weekend cottage, just a little weekend getaway. You guys are all welcome to come by after we're done flying. Yeah, I wish, right? Nice place. It's a private residence called Shipman's, and the Shipman family at one time owned all that property around us here. They haven't invited me over yet either, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I got to figure it out. Everyone probably picked up on my accent, originally from the south side of the island, right? Yeah. Originally from Tennessee. I was flying helicopters over the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee and North Carolina before I came out here. Kind of an interesting story. A lot of people like to know who's going to show them the island. So learned how to fly in 1999 from an Army Cobra pilot. However, I was never in the Army, so I was flying helicopter tours over the Smoky Mountains. This is what I wanted to be from the time I was 2 years old. So this is my little boy dream. But before I moved out to Hawaii, I was your UPS delivery driver. So you guys have that in Australia too. So Monday through Friday, I was your UPS delivery driver. I came to your house and knocked on your door, ran from your dog, did all that stuff. And then weekends I flew helicopters. So this was my dream. This was just something I always wanted to be. And so I always kind of just felt like I was going to keep it as a hobby. And then started with UPS right when I started college at the University of Tennessee. And then had so much time invested there, I never thought about doing this as a full-time job. And then 3.5 years ago, I came out to the island of Kauai. First time I've ever been to Hawaii. And I took that flight up there, sitting right up front where our birthday girl Mandy's at. Took that flight and absolutely changed my life. I mean, it was one of those things that halfway through the flight, I was just, my eyes watered up. It was that beautiful. And I just thought, this is life short. I want to do this. And so went back home, started applying for the job. 6 months later, I got a call from Blue Hawaiian, and they offered me a job out here. So I turned in my notice with UPS after 25.5 years and moved out to Hawaii. So been on Kauai, Maui, and the Big Island. So first and foremost, it's a Friday. Thank you guys for coming in and flying, keeping me out of that UPS truck. I'm truly blessed to get to do what I love doing over such a beautiful place. So I definitely want to show you guys a wonderful time. If you're ever up on Kauai, you want to do that flight. To me, that's our most beautiful flight. We have flights in Maui, Waikoloa, and Oahu, and here. But to me, that's our most beautiful flight that we have as far as sheer beauty. Now, that being said, this is the coolest flight we have. No question about it. If you're a grown man, you're getting to live your little boy dream flying a helicopter over a volcano. It's pretty cool, It doesn't get any better than that. Maybe if we had some little dinosaurs still running around, that's about it, I'll get some people to run around in dinosaur uniforms. If everybody looks down in the houses below us there, you see everybody has a pool with a black cover. Those aren't swimming pools for the most part. Those are rain catchment systems. So we get so much rain on this side of the island that we're able to catch enough rainwater to provide our household plumbing. So we don't even have an underground water system here. Everybody just catches their own rainwater, and that's how you get your water for your house. Get about 120 to 130 inches of rain per year. Guys, did anybody hear about the little community that had the lava coming towards it during 2014? Made national news. It's kind of old news now, but maybe you remember it. I pointed out, and we definitely got a bigger flow right now, so I wanted to take you guys, we're just kind of going to brush against this and give you a couple of pointers on it, and then I'll take you out to the lava. But right here, this little community to our left, this is called Town. And if you look way off in the distance, 1 o'clock, you can see that silhouette of the hill right there. That's where all the lava is coming from. I want to take you guys up over that. So that's where all the lava has been coming from for the past little over 33 years now. So we're 6 miles away from that. And during 2014, the lava turned for the first time in recent history. Started flowing this way. It was only coming at about 1 mile per month. And they even had some bumper stickers I just saw a couple of weeks ago. Said the volcano is erupting, walk for your life. That kind of summed things up. It's really slow progressing. A couple of different things. Had it crossed that road, that was the only road at that time that went back to Hilo. had it cross that road, for instance, the kids that commuted to school on average 3.5 miles, that was going to be a 60-mile trip one way. It was going to be a nightmare for those guys. And then the green roast that you see over here to the left, that road's called Cemetery Road. And it crossed that road, so if you go back on YouTube and look up Pahoa Flow, you can see that lava coming right over that hill. And then on November 10th, 2014, it covered up one guy's house, and then it buried a Japanese cemetery, and then it just stopped. 6 months later, the Hawaiians built a 6 months later, the Hawaiians just built a shopping plaza right where it was going. So that's pretty amazing, you know. They're pretty resilient. The guys were flying over. And this is a 500-year-old rainforest we're flying over, so these trees are incredibly wet. You can see how the lava flows through here. We don't get like wildfires like you'd imagine in California. I'm sure in Australia they have the same thing. So the only trees that burn are the ones that are directly touched by the lava through here. So you'll see a couple of little island of trees like you see right down from you, Allie. These are called kipukas, and some more coming up on the right, Mandy and Tulsi side. You see all the dead trees laying on top of it. So how that works is the lava comes out here at about 2,000 degrees. So it flows through here, burns the tree at the base. And as it's burning the tree at the base, it also cools off on the outside rather quickly. It creates that crust. So it'll lose 500 degrees almost in the first 5 minutes. And so it creates that crust. That tree will burn at the base. Tree falls over on top of the crust. Just a couple inches below, still 2,000 degree lava. But on the outside, you know, it's still not hot enough to continue burning that tree. So it'll just lay there and eventually rot. Manfred and Allie on the left side, you'll see a crack in the earth right here, and then everybody else, we've got one coming up right in front of us, and I'll bring it in on the right side of the helicopter. So guys, this crack in the earth, this is the eastern rift zone. It goes all the way up to the Pu'u vent to our right where all the lava's coming from, continues on past that, so that's from here to the ocean off to our left is about 7 miles. This massive piece of land off to our left is sliding off in the ocean 3 to 6 inches every year. Yep. Moving quite a bit, so it creates a lot of earthquakes out here. We get about 3 to 5 every week. You won't feel them in the helicopter. I never know we have one until I watch the news. So. A couple of things I want you guys to keep in mind. You know, you come in here and you look and you just see a barren area. Keep in mind, this is exactly how the Big Island was created, and you know.